horizon darkened as a massive horde of creatures advanced toward the city. From the elevated guard tower, Master Doar squinted, trying to make sense of the overwhelming number of beings surging forward, a living wave of claws and fangs, their guttural roars carried by the wind. The sheer size of the horde was staggering, impossible to count. "Incoming!" Doar shouted into his comms, alerting the defenders. The city walls, high and reinforced, had held against previous attacks, but today felt different. The horde was more relentless, more desperate. The first impact was thunderous. Creatures crashed against the walls, their bodies piling up as more surged forward. The defenders unleashed a barrage of laser fire, mowing down the front lines, but it wasn't enough. For every alien that fell, 3 more took its place. From his vantage point, Doar saw the toll it was taking on his soldiers. They fought valiantly, but fear was creeping in. A guard stationed to Doar's right suddenly placed his rifle barrel in his mouth and pulled the trigger. Blood and brain matter splattered against the wall behind him. Doar's stomach churned, but there was no time for shock or grief. "Hold the line!" he yelled into the comms again. "We can't let them breach!" Below, the monsters clawed over each other, forming a gruesome ramp of bodies. They scaled the wall, their sheer weight causing cracks to form in the stone. "Commander!" a voice crackled in Doar's earpiece. "We're losing ground on the west side." Doar looked westward. Sure enough, the wall was buckling. The horde had found a weak point. He watched as the beasts began pouring through, ripping apart any defender in their path. "All units, fall back to the inner defenses," Doar ordered. He turned to his second-in-command, prepared to retreat to the citadel if necessary. "Sir, are we really considering abandoning the city?" the officer asked, his eyes wide with fear. "We have no choice," Doar replied grimly. "We can't let them take us alive." As the officer relayed the orders, Doar pulled out his sidearm. He considered the protocol, the dishonor of suicide in the face of the enemy. Against this horde, it was expected. The thought of falling into the claws of these beasts, of being torn apart or melted by their acid, was unbearable. He placed the barrel of the gun to the side of his head, his finger tensing on the trigger, when a sudden burst of static from his radio made him pause. "Valerian Outpost, this is Captain Marcus of the United Earth. We will be making groundfall in a few minutes. Please hold fast." Doar lowered the gun, disbelief etched on his face. "Did I hear that right?" he muttered. "Are they actually coming?" A soldier next to him, a grizzled veteran, spat on the ground. "We're about to be overrun, and our only help is from human medics and scientists." Doar keyed his radio. "Captain Marcus, this is Master Doar. We appreciate your response, but it's too late. Stay in orbit and record the horde's movements. Save yourselves." No reply came. Doar looked up and saw the Terran ship breaking through the atmosphere, its silhouette growing larger by the second. 2 large white transports detached and descended, marked with the Red Cross symbol for medical aid. "Medics!" the veteran scoffed. "What good will they do us now?" As the white transports descended, Doar noticed something else. Smaller black ships flanking them. The black ships split off and accelerated toward the city, their sleek forms slicing through the air. Doar's comms crackled again. "Master Doar, this is Captain Marcus. We're here to help. Reinforcements will be landing shortly." Doar watched as the black ships touched down at the spaceport, the very area where civilians had been evacuated to. If nothing else, maybe they could get some people out. Within moments, the black ships reappeared, soaring low over the city and dropping something. Doar couldn't make out what it was until the devices detonated, spreading thick red clouds that evaporated quickly. The horde members caught in the gas began to convulse, their flesh melting into purple sludge. The defenders cheered, a glimmer of hope igniting. The horde's momentum faltered as they recoiled from the gas. The black ships circled back, now dropping small spinning discs that buried themselves into the ground and exploded, sending flames roaring through the ranks of the aliens. The heat was palpable even from the tower, and the creatures' screams were loud enough to momentarily drown out the battle noise. "Maybe they're not just medics after all," the veteran remarked, his eyes wide with surprise. Doar grabbed his comms. "All units, regroup at the inner defenses. Prepare to coordinate with our new allies." As he spoke, one of the black ships hovered above his tower, its presence a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos. The massive ship descended, its size dwarfing the standard transports. As it touched down, its landing legs pierced the metal floor with a resounding thud. A large panel opened, revealing a ramp, and 3 humans in black armor emerged, their weapons ready. The insignia on their armor, a snarling wolf's head clutching a skull in one hand and a sickle in the other, signified their deadly intent. Following them was a female of Doar's species, serving as their translator. "Master Doar!" she called out, her voice steady despite the chaos surrounding them. "I am Translator Glara. This is Warrant Officer Johnson. They're here to reinforce us." Doar approached, trying to mask his skepticism. "Reinforce? We need to retreat. The horde has breached the outer walls." Glara quickly relayed the message, and the humans responded with sharp, barking laughter. Johnson stepped forward, his posture unwavering. "Retreat? Hell no. We just got here. We're deploying along your towers and pushing back." Doar's eyes widened in disbelief. "Push back against that?" He gestured to the carnage below, where the horde was tearing through everything in its path. Johnson's lips curled into a wolfish grin. "Watch and learn." The black ships above did more than just release gas and explosives. They deployed squads of towering Gonk warriors, a species allied with the humans, each clad in heavy power armor and armed with massive projectile launchers. Alongside them, human soldiers disembarked, wearing similar armor and ready for battle. The Gonk troopers moved to the front lines, their weapons unleashing a storm of metal pellets that tore through the horde like a scythe through wheat. The humans spread out, combining automatic fire with precision shots to take down key targets. Doar watched in awe as the combined force of humans and Gonks began to turn the tide. What had seemed like an unstoppable horde was now faltering. Alien bodies piled up, creating barriers that slowed the advancing creatures. Johnson barked orders, his voice amplified through his helmet. "Focus fire on the clusters. Keep them contained." Inspired by the ferocity of their new allies, Doar's men rejoined the fray with renewed confidence. Laser rifles hummed and crackled, cutting down any creature that dared to advance. Amidst the chaos, Doar's comm buzzed. "Master, we've got a chance to evacuate the civilians. The black ships are heading back to the spaceport." Doar nodded, his resolve hardening. "All units, cover the retreat to the spaceport. We're getting our people out of here." The defenders fought with everything they had, holding the line as civilians were shepherded to the waiting transports. The black ships provided cover, their guns roaring as they strafed the horde. Doar's comm buzzed again. "Master, we're preparing for an orbital strike. You need to pull back now." He glanced at Johnson, who was still coordinating the human and Gonk forces. "We need to move to the spaceport. An orbital strike is imminent." Johnson nodded, his expression serious. "Understood. All units fall back to the spaceport. Let's give them hell one last time." As they retreated, Doar marveled at the humans' efficiency. They fought with a blend of brutality and precision, their actions synchronized as if they had rehearsed this battle 100 times. The horde, now disoriented and leaderless, could not mount an effective counterattack. They reached the spaceport just as the last transports were taking off. Doar and his men scrambled aboard, the roar of engines filling the air. From the safety of the transport, Doar watched as the Terran ship fired its main cannon. A beam of light shot down from the heavens, striking the heart of the horde. The explosion was blinding, and the shockwave rattled the transport even at a safe distance. As the transport ascended, Doar turned to Johnson. "I thought you were medics and scientists. What changed?" Johnson removed his helmet, revealing a weary but resolute face. "We still are, but sometimes the best way to save lives is to end the threat. We are the Fenrir Legion, Master Doar, and today we answered the call." Doar nodded slowly, understanding dawning on him. The humans were not just medics and scientists, they were warriors, forged in the crucible of war, ready to lay down their lives to protect others. As the transport broke through the atmosphere, Doar allowed himself a moment of relief. The city was lost, but his people were saved, and the humans had responded to the call for help when no one else would. This concludes our tale of unexpected alliances and fierce battles. If this story of survival and human resilience inspired you, show your support by leaving a like. Comment with the word courage if you believe in the power of unity against overwhelming odds. And don't forget to subscribe if you appreciate stories where the unexpected heroes rise. Your support fuels our mission to bring you more epic tales like this. Thank you for standing with us in the fight for survival.